blame, you mad it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Misha, stick it in the bull. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Misha, stick it in the bull. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Stacking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, not the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Misha, stick it in the bull. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some Misha, stick it in the bull.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our daily live AMA and recap event. I'm also joined by my 2 team members and co-hosts with the most, Bull and LA. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Awesome. Bull, how are you, brother? Oh, Bull might be having some technical difficulties again. I know it's been snowing bad where he is. So, all right, awesome. Well, Bull, you can join us when you come back on. No worries. Oh, he might be back. Bull, you there?
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. So I busted went out, came back in, and you know how that fixes everything. You know, you just got to restart.
Exactly. When in doubt, you
unplug and
Yep.
wait for 5 seconds.
Exactly.
And then plug it back in.
Yeah.
I don't know
love it.
what's happening in that time, but magic happens. So that's all I know.
That's hilarious. So yeah,
They'd say science, right?
Right.
Science is happening.
It is. It's science. Yes. All right. Well, we're gonna make it short and sweet again today. Just mainly a recap AMA on some loose ends. We're gonna answer a few questions we've seen, and then we'll take some other questions at the end. If you have something you want us to go into more, let us know. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube page. Again, we're trying to push all of our traffic over to YouTube. So the number one awesome announcement for today is the Detonator Defenders are now live and revealed. So we did have a little bit of a delay on getting the artwork updated. Again, we had to, measure twice and cut once, so to speak, because we did not mint out the full series. We wanted to make sure that the contract still distributed the artwork accordingly. And those of you that participated in the pre-sale, you will be getting yours distributed before rewards begin. We're hoping for Monday. Jake has a very special personal commitment this weekend. So again, we're trying to get everything out as fast as we can in the shortest amount of time. So Detonator Defenders are now live. A lot of you may have to reset your metadata to be able to see what you got. So please go to nftrade.com. That is our official secondary marketplace. That's one that you know will have the right collection. Do not get scammed. Again, there's a lot of copycats out there as well. And then once you are in on NF Trade, again, we'll post the link to the exact landing page as well. But you'll connect to your wallet. You'll go to your what you have minted. Again, it's in the upper right-hand side of the website. Actually, you know what? Let me just go ahead and show you. Bear with me here. If you're on YouTube, I'll show you. One moment. Alright, so this is the official Detonator Defenders landing page. Again, nftrade.com/collection/detonator defenders, detonator-defenders. And you're going to connect your wallet, and then you will go up to the top. This button right here, again, you guys might not be able to see it, but it's basically the very top right hand side of the website. There'll be a little button that says My Account Preferences and Log Out. You go to My Account, and that'll pull up your account. And then you can go to Recently Minted, and should show you all that you've recently minted. And boom, there's our what do we call this guy? LA,
the baguette detective.
Yeah, the baguette detective.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So shout out to Charlie. And then there's 3 little dots right here. Some people call it a hamburger. 3 little dots. Hopefully you guys can see that. You'll click there, and then you'll go to this button that says Refresh Metadata. And once you hit that, it'll reveal your artwork if it hasn't already. So there's a quick impromptu guide. If you're still having problems with that, reach out to us in the socials, and we'll help you step by step. But that will allow you to see what NFTs you got. So all right, let me pull up my notes again. Hang on one moment.
Brockman, you're becoming like an OBS YouTubing pro over there.
Yeah, Bull. I don't feel like it, but we're getting there, man. Again, I had my office set up to be, a pro streaming studio, and then we had to remodel the house again. So yeah, we'll get there, man. I know it's definitely not as easy as it looks. I'll tell you that
What
much.
you're saying though, like your office will be ready just in time for the 3rd one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I'm done. After this, I haven't slept in 2 weeks, so I don't know. But yeah, you never know, man, right? Never say never. So totally. But all right, awesome. So yeah, that's how you get your metadata. Again, not financial advice, but until rewards start, I wouldn't be selling right now. I mean, obviously, we don't know what rewards are going to look like until they happen, and the floor is very, very thin because people don't want to get rid of, a potentially income producing asset. So, and again, please just be a little bit patient on the pre-sale. We're going to get it sent out ASAP. It will absolutely 100% be in all of your wallets before rewards are live. Again, we said give us 14 days from the end of mint, so the power-up rewards will be the first priority. Again, all of this should be done, early next week. But we're saying 14 days just as a buffer. So we appreciate the patience, and we want to get you the rewards ASAP. So, and again, just to clarify, the same address that you minted your Power Up NFTs will then turn into a claiming page. You'll connect your wallet. The website will automatically recognize how many NFTs you have, and then it'll allow you to claim on a weekly basis, depending on how many NFTs you have. So, and we'll do a full video on all that as we get closer. And the defenders will be the exact same way a few days later, and the defenders will be on our EMP website under the Sentinel button. So, and if any of you want to know what the claim page will look like, just go to the Sentinel page on EMP.Money, EMP.Money, and it'll be the exact same layout and functionality of how that works. So, the rewards show up automatically. You hit claim. Again, power up is once a week in actual Ethereum, and Defender is once a day in EMP ETH LP. So hopefully that helps. Bull or LA, anything you want to elaborate on that so far?
Nope, I think you did a perfect job.
All right, awesome. All right, let's see. So, one other thing I want to address too, we've seen a lot of chatter about potential partnerships, what we have going on. One in particular was called Bitcoin. We definitely know about it. One of our community members launched the project, and fundamentally, I like what they're doing. I mean, it's a meme token, which I am typically not a fan of, but the fact that reflections are used to buy and reward eShare, that is bullish, for the price of eShare and helping our ecosystem. But that being said, until we, you know, audit the code and have enough time to prove, the due diligence that it takes for an official partnership, nothing is official. And any kind of projects, in our main Telegram that we aren't officially partnered with, you know, are going to be treated as such, and everybody has to participate at their own risk. But that all being said, if everything checks out, it could be a very good candidate for a detonator as a service. So again, I don't want anybody to read too much into that, but obviously we want to support projects that try to support EMP. We just have to continue our due diligence in that. And remember, um, anybody that is not respectful, or trying to promote a project that we don't endorse in the main chat will be dealt with accordingly. So we're big on education and not banning people unless we absolutely have to. But unless there's an official partnership, we have to have a consistent stance on how we address things. So shout out to Bitcoin for sure. So all right, LA and Bull. I know we do have an official partnership with Growth DeFi. They launched their VDCs. LA or Bull, do you guys want to go over that at all? Or I know we're gonna do a whole video about their VDCs. It's a way to lock up eShare and EMP. It's very beneficial to the protocol. I guess, Bull, maybe if you just comment on Growth DeFi as a whole and why we like what they're doing.
Yeah, so there's really great communication behind the scenes, right? And like anything, the success of everything revolves around like really good communication and effective communication. And so, that's something I think we always strive to do. And, not like saying anybody in particular, but we all can do a better job at communication, right? And so, because it's typically the source of problems, but, like that being said, when I look at the Growth DeFi guys, they're a very welcoming community. They, I'd almost say that they're a reflection of how we are here, right? They're a group of people that have been together for years, came from a different blockchain. And so they know each other really, really well. And it's reflected like in the way that like they speak to one another. It's reflected in like the way that their community operates. One of our community members did a video, and I think they're working on more videos. But David, went over to Growth and they put together a video on the ecosystem. And like, I think it's really great, when two communities can come together, and like just the idea of, community members, like in general, community members working with team members or community members working with other community members, to talk about those projects, or the parts of the protocol and try to explain them like in their own words and talk about that. Like, I think that's a really genuine, like type of effort. And I think that really shows that, especially when community, like just a community member will reach out to another community member And like, I think that's a really good, just a video series in general for any type of protocol, because like as a team member or somebody that's working, like on different, parts of the protocol, it can look biased. It can look, what's a good word for, it can look like, like you have kind of skin in the game to maybe, be a little bit of a fanboy about something. And so I love the idea of like their community doing it, and our community, because I know we can trust our community members. I know that the growth guys can trust theirs because they've been together for so long. And like, I think it's an amazing like partnership, because, they're great communicators. They're heavily invested in the ecosystem. They want, the best for their ecosystem and, the EMP ecosystem. And so, like, if you look at it, they're personally involved both as investors, but as teachers for their protocol, and, friendly ambassadorship to EMP, for growth. And so that goes a really long way. And, like that positive, constructive messaging to welcome people as they see, like, if you're a growth person, like when you're an EMP, all I see from them is positive, constructive comments. That's it. And like, that's amazing, because everybody knows that they're like, oh, like, who are those guys? Like, let me look in that person's profile and, like dig around a little bit and maybe send a message to that person. And I just find them to be really welcoming, and like they want, really similar things to us. And I like that, because it shows that, like, I think we're on the right road. Like when we, as travelers kind of in DeFi and on this DeFi road, and when we meet up with other parties, we can say, oh, like, wow, we have the same kind of like character or morals or guide, right? And so we're on that road together to make sure that we're kind of watching one another's back, and building towards or walking toward that future in DeFi. And so I look at like I can't speak personally to the fullest extent of everybody's character, and it's not an endorsement to invest blindly in any ecosystem, but like everything I've seen from them, like their motivations have been true. Their effort has been like pure, and so like at the very least, like you should go over there and like give that a look, and then if you like it, like start asking questions about how things work, and I'm sure they're going to be more than interested to jump in and tell you. And like you can see them like in our channel being like just highly productive and helpful to everybody that asks questions, and not even just about growth, but like, hey, how's it going? Like, oh, I love that idea. That was a great post, just completely supportive and helpful. And I think it goes a long way, especially in the, given the current market conditions and, just kind of the general stress level of everybody to, not have that fanboy mentality, but to have like just a positive outlook and say, hey, shit's going to be okay. We just have to kind of keep trudging through it. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but it's a lot easier to come into a channel when everybody is, like, isn't arguing and everybody is helpful. And that's not to say like that we shouldn't ask the tough questions and we shouldn't be skeptical. We should. But it also means like we can do that like in a positive like way. Like the difference between like, like what the hell is going on with Peg? Like, are you guys ever going to fix it? Versus like, oh, hey, I see that Peg is down a bit. What can we do, or what can I do, to help out with that? Like they're asking the same question, but it's done in a different way. And I look at, all of those things as trying to be like an effective communicator and what's the best at any given time. And sometimes it calls for like some harsh requirements. Like I know in the past we have given people like a lot of what I call rope, or the ability to put their foot in their mouth. And it's unfortunate when people have to answer, like if somebody has like a fuddy type of question or comment, and 10 people answer them, and like that person's like, well, no, that's not what I'm talking about. And it's continuous. It's a waste of people's time, and it's a real drag like on the morale of people, like especially in a bear market. And so like moving forward, there's going to be like less rope or room to do that, because we don't need that here. We need more positive helpers. And like I think everybody kind of knows what I'm talking about. And so like the general idea is like really just be cool to one another, because we're all in this together. We all have different levels of investment. I'm sure we all have stress of some kind. We're all waiting for that bull market to return. We're all kind of getting worn down from the bear market. And it's always going to be to different levels on all of that. But in general, like the best we can do is stick together, especially with the people that have had our back, right? Like in the bear market. And really, truly, since this project launched, it has been in the bear market, but keeping in mind, like, it's actions really that matter. And so if you exercise like in a conversation in good faith and have like legitimate questions, that's cool. But please don't waste anybody's time, like executing or engaging in a conversation in bad faith, because it's a waste of another person's time. It's a waste of your time. And frankly, like I don't see the need for it, because we have so much to do. The market is scary, so scary for so many people that it doesn't make sense to come in and FUD. And like, there's a really good general rule that has existed on the internet since the internet was created. Same goes for texting people. If you have to retype it, that means don't send it. Because that's your inner monologue, your inner person telling you that this is a bad statement, this is a bad question, etc. So like, if you find yourself questioning how you can type this up in the best manner, and you have to keep perpetually rewriting it, that means don't send it. And so like, I think if people follow those type of rules, you're going to have a much more positive, creative, helpful environment where I've said before, this project has excelled in the bear market. All we have to do, is keep pushing peg up. We're obviously working on contracts in the back to make that happen. But in general, it's the attitude of, the community that people see. They don't see, what's being worked on. They see how people interact with one another when they come into the channel. And if it's a new person and they see fighting amongst each other, even if we're on the same team trying to get there, and we might just see something a different way, if we can have healthier dialogue, like in the channel, that's going to go a long way into, that appearance when a new person comes in and says, oh shit, this is a nice place to be. I think I'm going to hang around. Oh, and guess what? I'm a gigantic whale that, wants to invest in this protocol. And I see like how people are interacting with one another here. And this is a really nice place to be in crypto, because I'm in 10 different projects and all the channels are toxic right now. And so the easiest thing we can do, like I like to tell people, is like, it's so much easier to be nice than it is to be mean. As human beings, I think we're really just innately good, and so it takes a lot of energy to stay mad. And like, if we've ever seen a kid have a temper tantrum, it's a lot of energy. Like, what happens after that temper tantrum? They usually fall asleep. It's because they wasted a lot of energy being mad. So let's not waste energy being mad, fighting with one another. We can easily, accomplish what we need to do if we're working together. Sure, we're going to have some different ideas about how to get there. If you find yourself in a, within a conversation you think is going to get dicey, you can take it to DM and, just try to hash it out. Like, we don't need to get into name calling, because ultimately, like, we want the same thing here, and the best for the project, because what's best for the project is selfishly best for all of us. And so just be cool. That's it.
I love
Unmute
it.
Brockman.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, Bull. Can you hear me now? All right, awesome. No, I love it, Bull. That was an amazing recap. And yeah, I mean, sometimes we have to take a step back and actually say everything that Bull just said. I mean, we are all on the same team. If we're in DeFi, we're on the same team. I mean, I think people have this tribalism. They want their project to succeed. There's people that are selfish, that want to extract value instead of adding value. But overall, if you're still here, especially after the horrid bear market that we're in, we all are on the same team, whether you like it or not, because you're in crypto and you're still here when everybody else has left or been really fearful. So, yeah,
And
I
just
mean,
to add to that,
yeah, absolutely.
there's a reason why we have the most incredible community and one of the most trusted projects, and that is because we're so transparent and we take such incredible care of our community. And so that being said, the administrators and the mods and the team members, our number one priority when we're in the chats is to help, to educate, and to protect our community. And so it's always important to keep that in mind. We're going to do what it takes to protect the community. And that doesn't always mean winning a popularity contest, and that's okay. Because if it keeps everyone safe, that's what's most important. And that's, at the end of the day, why everyone loves EMP, because we have the most incredible community and the most incredible project, and we can all go to sleep at night and feel really good waking up because we know EMP is growing every day and we're all a part of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, LA. And all of this takes time too. I think everybody is so, used to the fast pace of crypto where like, we're gonna get shit done like, in hours, not days. And, a month in crypto is a year in the real world. And so, we all have this skewed sense of time, but it does take time for partnerships to develop. There is a lot of work behind the scenes that nobody has a clue about before it ever becomes public. And we do that on purpose because exactly what LA said, we do our due diligence in everything that we possibly can before that comes to light. And, Growth DeFi is an amazing example, Splinterlands as well as MDB, all of those partnerships were months and months in the making, and they have a track record that backs it up. Like, in other words, what Bull was saying, that Growth DeFi guys, they have major bags at EMP. They want to support EMP. They put, their protocol on the same playing field as EMP. And, that is when the best sort of partnerships come together, is when it adds value to both protocols and we can both succeed. So, again, they launched their, back to what I was saying originally, Growth DeFi launched their eShare and EMP VDCs. That's a virtual deposit contract. They're similar to Detonator, but the rewards are different. You do have to claim or compound daily, and so we've seen amazing use case in putting your EMP and your eShare to work for you, and potentially making even more money before uh, you know before you have to sell your EMP and eShare. Again, that's the ultimate goal here, is that we want to have use cases and utility that make it more valuable to hold or stake or participate in these sort of things with your EMP and eShare than it does to just outright sell it. So, yeah, and we will have them on. Again, they released an awesome Medium article that explains what the BDC is, but we're going to have them on in the next few days to go over everything live as well. It is a bit complicated, but everything that we put together is meant to, add use case and utility to EMP and eShare. So, and speaking of other partnerships, this got lost in, the hype around our NFTs, but we will be doing another round of uh, explaining our partnership with Magic Finance. So Magic is launching something they're calling the Magic World, and everybody that bought a Power Up NFT will be getting one airdrop to them for free. It's basically a starter pack to play inside this Magic World. It's a fully developed game. They're way ahead of anything I was ever anticipating. It's playable. They're still building, but things are looking really promising. So sometime this coming week, we'll have the team on, maybe show some gameplay footage as well. And yeah, we're really excited for that. And there will be again an opportunity for all of you to get in, under the EMP faction in the game. One of the bonuses is the weapon that you get is an actual detonator or a grenade. So I'm really excited for that to come to life. And yeah, I mean, they have a lot of awesome ideas to not only provide earning potential, but also an additional burn mechanism on EMP. So Magic has been amazing. We're already partnered with them in the auto vaults. So if you have EMP ETH LP, definitely consider putting some funds in their auto vault that will automatically sell your eShare and buy more EMP ETH LP, which allows you to accumulate actual Ethereum every single minute of every single day. So again, much more to that, much more coming to that as well. So Bull, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man, that just reminded me of something, and I know I mentioned it on an AMA months and months ago, but for anybody, and this is a Bitcoin urban legend. I don't know if it's true. I swear I remember seeing this as a younger kid, but I'm not quite certain. So on the 8-bit Nintendo, regular NES, on Zelda, there is a little secret room that you go into. You can't see your character, but there's a treasure chest that opens up, and it's like a gold coin. They say that's where the Bitcoin logo came from. But I've never verified that. And I was just wondering if there's any gamer on here that can kind of corroborate that or say that it's not true.
I love that.
But
I'll have to do some research into that. That's cool. I mean, yeah. And to your point, Bull, that is the major inspiration behind this Magic World. It's a modernized version of that 8-bit, Zelda looking graphics. And they'll have different shopkeepers, in the world, ways to battle each other, ways again to interact with protocols, in that quote unquote metaverse. So yeah, I'm really excited for it, man. And yeah, I mean they're way ahead. Typically with play to earn games, it's a lot of vaporware, where they promise something will happen or come out, or it's years before you see a working product. I mean, they have a working product. I was blown away when Owen, gave me the full rundown on everything. So, and obviously they're still building as well, but they're way ahead of the game. So we're excited for that. Again, there's so much coming, Bull. Again, man, I know I wish we could tell everybody, half of the shit that we're working on, but it's all good.
Oh no, oh yeah, I think we should show people. But that's me. I'm just throwing that fastball at your head again.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like the thing I love is like all the people that are building like EMP eShare use case, right? And so it's a matter of going through that whole process like that you talked about, but really that's the ultimate, that is an ultimate goal to get to, where other people are so proud of this ecosystem that they want to build into it, right? And we look at that and say, okay, like we don't necessarily like I don't have coding skill, right? But I do have crypto funds, and like my way of plugging into the ecosystem is as an investor, and helping people is another way to do it too. And or building, like everybody's got this little different skill set that can allow them to connect to the EMP ecosystem. And I know we talked about this like a number of different times, and where I often refer to DeFi as financial Legos, and that's what EMP is, right? We're the base kit. And we want people to be able to bring their set and plug it into the ecosystem. Why? Well, that's going to give our ecosystem value, right? They see it as like, okay, cool. Like EMP has a lot of utility to the point of where like EMP can be used outside the ecosystem, right? I don't think, a whole lot of other projects can say, yeah, we can use like our token outside of the ecosystem. Um, like I don't know of any. There might be some out there, but look at like Ethereum as the highest utility token in crypto, obviously used all over the place. But like, look at how cool our little ecosystem, right? So a little engine that could, EMP being used in Splinterlands, right? Being used in the different DOS contracts, being used in VDC, being used, well, like Magic World, right? And of course, what you mentioned earlier, like, and that's the goal, where everybody knows, like, okay, cool, I love this ecosystem. Like, what can I build for it? What can I do for it? Like, can I invest like human capital to help people? Like, and that's what I'm talking about. Everybody's got a little different skill set that adds value to the ecosystem that really makes it so useful that its utility extends outside of the bounds of its ecosystem to the point of where you can take it out of that ecosystem and use it somewhere else. And that is a true measure of success, because like when you can go, like, I'll just point to it, the US dollar, right? Like you can use that in other countries because it's more stable than their currency that they have. I'm not saying the US dollar is the greatest thing in the world. It's not, but it has high use case. Everybody uses it. And I look at EMP, and that is an understated, undersold, not talked about success story that we can use this token outside of the ecosystem, not like at a discount on these platforms where we have to lose money to use it 1-to-1. That's the thing, right? Like, because people say, okay, cool, look, this ecosystem, like, it's amazing to the point of where, yeah, you can use it in my ecosystem. Awesome. And I know, there are a few community members here, like loyal to EMP that are working on different things that Jake just hasn't had the time to go through. And verify and vet, and that's sort of the point, right? To protect all the people here, but also to protect those people, that are building those projects, potentially with other people. And so that's not to speak poorly of anybody. It's just a fact, right? Like, we don't know people's intentions until we can see how it like, we know their character, we know, like, it's mathematically or bound by code, right? And so I look at that and say, oh my God, like, this is amazing, to the point of where people are coming and asking, hey, like, AJ, I want to build into the EMP ecosystem. This is my ecosystem. How can we start a partnership? How can we do this? How does this, how does this process work? Well, yeah. I know, just from experience, it takes a long time.
Yeah,
and so,
I not to interrupt you because I love where your head's at, but I literally had a phone call before the AMA on something in regards to this exactly. And I think, the true measure of success in a protocol is when, other developers and projects try to hitch their wagon, to EMP. And, again, sometimes it's a scammer, sometimes they don't have good intentions, but a lot of the times they do have good intentions. And as long as we can, protect our community the best way we can, I mean, that adds so much value to EMP, because now EMP is an actual digital currency being able to be used inside and outside of our ecosystem. And again, that's where, Bitcoin and ETH and all these major blue chips, that's where they get their value, is because, people accept them as currency. And again, I mean, Bitcoin is probably not a good example of that because it's more of a store value, but ETH absolutely is. And the more that EMP or ETH or any of these tokens are transacted, in and outside of different communities, you know, that bolsters the value overall. So yeah, go ahead, Bull. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you want to wrap that thought
Oh yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really remember the track, but I think I made my point on that. And the last thing that I would say is that if we look at the value of crypto, like in general, for what as a vehicle, what it can bring to people, and then look at DeFi as that supercharged race car, like Joe and those guys over on Discord were calling nodes from the get go, which I love that comparison. And so, like in looking at that, I often wonder why anybody especially like in DeFi would want to run like a scam, because it's so short-sighted, it's so short-term. Like if you build things with the intention of not just for gaining like money, right? Like, and I get it, like everybody's here for money, but so are the scammers. So like, what separates you from the scammers? That you're willing to invest and trust something, or I look at it like, yeah, an investor is, putting money into a project and doing something, but, a scammer is really chasing gains the same. And without knowing those person's intentions, like the end goal, like is the same, to get financial gain. And so I was talking to a friend of mine today about this, and I often wonder why people want to run scams, because personally, I think if DeFi had like a better reputation, and I know it was Atlantean that asked me like a few days ago, like, why does DeFi have such a bad reputation? And I said, well, it's because of the scams and rug pulls, and people will associate every failure as a scam or a rug pull. They don't say, oh, it was because of bad economics, or the team was a poor communicator. Like, it could be any number of things. And in general, I would say if everybody went through every project that failed, a small portion, 10%, 20%, I don't really know, would probably be scams and rug pulls. The others would just be failures of communication, failure of financial management, economics. It could be a number of things. But the point here is that if we build in, with more motivation than just money, but to build a community where people want to come. Like if you look at video game communities, people want to come because it's fun, right? Like they meet friends there, they can kill zombies, they can experience like simulations and blah 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 blah. So that's going to keep them coming back, and it's fun. They make friends, and many people like don't meet friends IRL; they do it all digitally now, and so that's a space like that we need to have, is something that's fun. But the difference from gaming to crypto is that there's a lot of similarities, but here we can make money, we can make friends, we can build these worlds together. And that's the shit that's going to bring like millions upon millions of people here. It's not scams, it's not rug pulls, it's not failures in economics. Those things are all going to detract and make the industry look like garbage. And it's going to shrink and shrink and shrink to the point of only risk takers and scammers will be here. That's it. So if you want DeFi to be a good place, it has to be about more than just money. You have to want something more here, because, are you any different than the scammer? Sure, you might think you are, but that end goal is the same. I mean, my goal, I want to see amazing things built here, be it if they're friendships, projects, contracts, ideas, because I know ultimately when this space blows up, it's going to be because of that type of attitude. The people that wanted to build something that creates value. It expresses value outside of its total ecosystem, outside of the space of DeFi, where it has like this gravitational pull where all the people that are normies, or the people that are with the Jerry coins like Bitcoin that say, oh, F that, I'm not getting into DeFi. It's all scams and rug pulls there. That's garbage. But the pull in DeFi is going to be so strong. Like if we create the right space, the right world, that there's going to be no way for them to resist it. Like they're just going to get sucked in, like we're a powerful magnet and they're just a little speck of metal. And that's what we want. Like to be such a powerful force in crypto that you can't resist it. Like you have to come in, not for the money, but because it's a fun ass space where you can make a lot of money and potentially you can start making friends, you can start making contract, like you can build your own platform because that's what you can do. You cannot do that like in crypto. You can't launch a layer 1 blockchain yourself. You can't launch a layer 2 blockchain yourself. You can launch a project for sure. Like in DeFi, you cannot do that anywhere else. And that's the thing that we need to look towards to build is like that framework, that slate, so that when people say DeFi, they don't think scams and rug pulls. They think, oh, that's a fun ass place where I can make a bunch of money.
Oh, sorry, I was muted on the other channel. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Yeah, I mean, again, Bull always has his, infinite words of wisdom, and I could not agree more. And, that's a great segue into the first question that I just saw. And, honestly, I lost a lot of respect for him over the last few days. And that's Kevin O'Leary, the guy a lot of you may know from Shark Tank. He really, for a guy that says he likes blockchain tech, wants it to succeed, wants to be a good steward, of the space, and then to testify, and basically blame Binance for Sam Bankman-Fried literally stealing people's money. I mean, it just blew my mind. And to your point, Bull, like the general public has no fucking idea what's really going on here. And, it is sad. And I think that, once things finally do reach a point of real adoption, it's going to take people, really realizing the power of what we have here, in crypto. And, I think that it is exactly what it stands for. FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And, FUD will continue no matter what. That's just the way it is, the human nature of things. But over the long run, people make their own decisions. They get educated, and then they're not uncertain. And they don't have doubt. They may still be fearful, especially if the market goes down 90%. But the uncertainty and doubt is no longer, a problem because they've done the research and they know, the potential here in crypto, and that's when we can literally, obliterate FUD moving forward. And so, unfortunately, with all the hearings, Kevin O'Leary, crypto Twitter, there's been a ton of FUD on Binance, and therefore BNB is down, and therefore eShare is down. Again, eShare is directly tied to BNB through the liquidity pool, and again, on the upside, it's amazing because you get that exposure to BNB, but on the downside, it can hurt as well, and that's why we've seen, eShare in the $100 range, which we never thought we would see, but it is what it is. And so again, a lot of people are asking what's up with eShare. There's really no additional, selling volume. If anything, there's buying volume, through these speculative projects getting involved with eShare. But if BNB goes down, it's going to pull the price of eShare down with it. So I hope that answers the Binance FUD. I know somebody asked to address that in the AMA. So, and really, I don't see a lot of other questions. I was going to try to wrap it up a little bit early tonight. I don't know, LA or Bull, was there anything else we need to go over? I know we have our giveaway starting up again for the LP, but why don't we do a double giveaway tomorrow when we have a little more time? We'll skip it for tonight. But any other questions or comments that I may have missed, Bull or LA?
Just let me make one slight modification.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so like I don't look at scammers and investors in the same light. I'm just saying, like, if one is just there for the money and the other is just there for the money, the end goal is exactly the same. The motivation might be completely different, but the end goal is still the same thing. So, like, it's not that I want to compare the character of a scammer versus the character of an investor, because I have no way to judge either one of those. And it would be a waste of my time to do that. But just looking at like the end goal, if the end goal is an orange for both of them, well, it's an orange. So but don't think like I compare them or look at them in identical fashions. It's just more of a clinical way to look at it. Like, as the end, if the end goal is the same thing, I'm just comparing the end goal, not the character of either people. But keeping in mind, I have no ability to judge the character of either one.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, and again, I mean, crypto, that's why we're so big on transparency, is because, the blockchain doesn't lie, and we try to do everything we can to, be as transparent as possible. And whether it's a scammer or a fudder or, a potential investor, I mean, that's not really what we're getting at. What we're getting at is that, everybody has to make their own decisions based on what's laid out in front of them. And yeah, I mean, even back to Kevin O'Leary, I mean, he he says all this shit about Binance, but doesn't disclose that he was paid $15 million, to endorse FTX. So everybody in crypto, has an ulterior motive, and it's up to us to assemble, the people that are here for the right reasons in EMP, and we've done an amazing job at that. I mean, our community is unmatched when it comes to that. And, even what we were saying earlier about being a little more strict on what we ban or don't ban, in the main chat, we are leaps and bounds above other, communities where they'll ban you if you even ask a question, regardless of whether it's a good question or not. So we'll never get to that point. Again, we're here to
Only
educate.
if you ask
Yeah,
if his mustache is fake. That's bannable.
yeah, there you go, Bull. Exactly. No fake mustaches allowed. So yeah, and we always will be, leading with kindness. But there does come a point where, especially in the heart of a bear market, that people just want to FUD to FUD. And if you're one of those people, you're gonna have a bad time here at EMP. So, all right, awesome. Well, I think that was a really killer AMA. I like the direction we went in the very end there. A little off topic, but amazing subject nonetheless. So hopefully that helps. Give everybody a little more insight. And again, we're never here to give financial advice. We're just here to discuss, not only EMP, but topics around the overall crypto space as well. So, all right, awesome. Well, Bull or LA, anything you want to add before we wrap it up here? All right, awesome. I think everybody's good to go. So again, thanks for all the support, everybody. We appreciate your patience. Please let us get through the weekend. Again, Jake and our developers that we've hired now have a lot going on. I know that's not an excuse, but we will get all of our timelines met that we put forth. Again, power up rewards will be available within about 10 days, and the uh, Detonator Defender rewards will be available in about 14 days. A little bit less. Again, that's the worst case scenario. We're just trying to, again, under promise and over deliver. So, and if you were part of the pre-sale, those should be going to you within Monday or Tuesday of next week. So, only a few more hours. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. And again, if there's anything we didn't address, always feel free to reach out in our socials, Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. All the admins are happy to help, clear anything up. So, all right, everybody. Good night. Good day. We'll see you tomorrow.